Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a Boruto fan theory that got sent to me by one of my patrons regarding Sarada Susanoo, in particular, how it will play a huge role in defeating the Otsutsuki clan in the future. And like usual with fan theories, I'll weigh in with my thoughts on how likely I think they are and what the narrative impact on the story should be if this does end up being something that's true. Which, disclaimer for the idiot comments that I've been shown by one of my editors from some people commenting over on Reddit. I'm not scouring Reddit, gobbling up theories. So with that stray bullet aside, let's look at what my patrons sent over for the discussion. So their discussion was to suggest that Sarada Susanoo is actually in possession of Itachi's Totsuka Blade and Yata mirror, and the reason why they brought it up was that they were looking at some of the Itachi videos on YouTube and they thought that it'd be a good discussion topic for the channel, as well as something that could make Sarada invincible in the process. Now, being transparent up front, I don't think that she's getting those spirit weapons, but I will concede that there's a lot about them that we don't actually know in terms of how they're actually gained. So it could be something like being worthy and gaining them, similar to how Hagoromo is stated in Naruto Databook 4 as having given Naruto 6-pass Sage Mode as a reward for his ironclad will and his guts to never give up. So the idea that something similar happens with those spirit weapons is possible because it's literally something we don't know in terms of how they're acquired. Now, even though I don't think that this will be the case, that Sarada gains those weapons, I will say this is very interesting because one of the weapons would be useful and the other one would actually be pretty useless against those Otsutsuki level fighters. So the Yata mirror is one of the few tools or jutsu in the Naruto series that have been put in the rare category as being an ultimate defense. The Yata mirror allows for the user to negate any effects of any attack, whether they be chakra based attacks like say chakra enhanced physical attacks or just ninjutsu in general fired off at it. The mirror does this by using a ton of chakra to form it, but the chakra in general has the properties of all 5 changes in chakra nature, which allows the mirror to automatically change the chakra nature as needed to nullify the attack. So for instance, if you pull up the wheel of the 5 basic chakra natures, you can see which chakra nature is superior to the other. So say if someone uses fire release and the user blocks it using the mirror, then the mirror changes the property to that of water release in order to cancel it out. This is part of the reason why Zetsu, someone who's been around since the days of Kaguya, takes one look at the mirror and goes, good God, while Itachi's in possession of this thing, he's invincible, because it's a walking hard counter to ninjutsu and it has physical durability to withstand close quarters brute force attacks. However, against the Otsutsuki clan, this mirror to a degree is useless, and I'll explain to you why. We don't really see Otsutsuki use chakra attacks in the sense of them using elemental ninjutsu like lightning release or fire release. For the most part, all the Otsutsuki we've seen have used brute physical force, and if they use chakra, it's been in the form of like Kaguya when she was going to use her expansive truth-seeking orb to blow up her dimension to kill Team 7, to Neri when he was shooting off chakra blasts, and Naruto the Last when he was in that Tensigan chakra mode, and Shiki when he was making chakra weapons, Momoshiki when he shoots back chakra attacks he absorbs, and Ishiki when he summons those giant chakra cubes. The only real benefit you could say to the Yata mirror that it might have is that it might absorb the impact of the chakra weapons and Ishiki's chakra cubes, which Kawaki can summon. But I will say this, I wouldn't rule out Kawaki doing to the Yata mirror what Jigen did to Sasuke's perfect Susanoo, which is destroy it in one kick. It's brute physical force, but there's no guarantee that it will hold up against physical attacks at that level. That's one bit of hesitation I do have with the Yata mirror being useful, only because we're at a point in the story where the power creeps are going to continue. We started out Boruto with Naruto and Sasuke bullying a fusion of 2 beings that Kaguya was afraid of, to them getting bullied by the vessel of Kaguya's boss in episode 204, where Jigen slapped them around. However, with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, those bars of Ishiki and Barrier Mode Naruto being the pinnacle of strength are eventually gonna get surpassed. I have doubts about the Yata mirror being able to withstand power levels of that high. Now the Totsuka Blade, that's where things get very, very interesting. That could actually be useful. It's literally the one thing we have from Naruto's manga that can carry over and be a potential nightmare for the Otsutsuki clan. The Totsuka Blade is something that you can actually seal a person away inside of it and they're trapped for eternity. But like the Yata mirror, there is one thing that holds me back from fully committing to this idea, which is that the Yata mirror, according to the third data book, traps the target in a genjutsu like dream world for an eternity. Genjutsu is the thing we have to look at. So far in the Naruto manga and in Boruto Naruto Next Generations and in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, we have never seen genjutsu be effective on the Otsutsuki clan. In fact, we've never even seen someone even attempt to use genjutsu on a Otsutsuki, which leads me to believe that it's absolutely useless, particularly because the Otsutsuki have to sit there and farm a chakra fruit when they harvest a planet, and the infinite Tsukuyomi literally places people under a genjutsu dream world while they're being used to nurse the chakra fruit and create white zetsus in the process. It's for that reason I think they have some immunity to genjutsu, otherwise it makes no logical sense. However, if this blade were to be used and it was effective, it would be a great way to handle whatever overpowered Otsutsuki we see turn up in the series next, because as we've seen, unless you're able to physically bully them, taking down Otsutsuki isn't an easy task, but the ability to use a sealing jutsu strong enough to trap them is something that does offer hope. Naruto and Sasuke resorted to that with Kaguya, but again, it comes down to, do you think the Totsuka Blade is useful in this scenario, and if genjutsu can work on an Otsutsuki? Now, diving even deeper here, the other part of why I don't think we'll see the Totsuka Blade and the Yata mirror is because there's not really any mythology for both to support this, with the noticeable exception being this right here. Back when I did my video on the truth about Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan powers, I talked about the Kashinda Hime mythology story and how I thought it stood a good chance to tie into Sarada's Mangekyou. Well, I bring that up because the Totsuka Blade is the sword that Susanoo used to kill the dragon that was terrorizing Kashinda Hime and her family. If Masashi Kishimoto were to go that route, given the numerous connections we have between Sarada, Sasuke, and Sakura with Kashinda Hime and her parents, then that could be a path that he actually takes. Which, reminder, Kishimoto uses a ton of Japanese folklore and mythology in Naruto, and ever since taking over Boruto, he's introduced more of that into the story. So it's not completely a stretch to bring that up, but I'm not sure if we see this one in particular, mostly because we've already seen the 3 sacred treasures of Japan that represent valor, wisdom, and benevolence, all used by Itachi. But I do like the idea of thinking outside the box and looking at how Sarada Susanoo might play a role, even if it's a support role in taking out members of the Otsutsuki clan in the future. I think it's a great way to make her useful. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this Patreon fan theory. Do you guys agree with my patron, or are you on my side with this? Which is that while we definitely need something special about Sarada's Mangekyou or Susanoo in order to kind of level the playing field, the Totsuka Blade and the Yata mirror might not necessarily be that, but if you had to choose one, the Totsuka Blade might be the thing that works. But again, it comes back down to, do you think genjutsu can work on Otsutsuki? That's also another question for you guys. Do you guys think genjutsu can work on Otsutsuki? Meanwhile, don't forget to check out these other Naruto Explained videos you see on the screen right now.